Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears of War Pro League. I'm Blaze, joined with Jacob MVPR as we are about to enter our last series of the day with two MVP-style teams full of MVP players, and that's the Pittsburgh Knights and Rebel. Jacob, this is a battle between LATAM, and so far throughout the day, we saw two exciting series, and maybe this one will go down to the distance, and it could be a map 5. Let's start breaking down this Pittsburgh Knights roster.
Yep. First up, you got Raver, Dezonide, Monkyz, and Fearzly. When I look at this roster,
back.
I see the captain, Dezonide, leading the charge. He's the do-it-all, jack of all trades. Raver, Monkyz, that 1-2 punch combo, very, very deadly. And then you have Fearzly, the 1v1 guy. They're trusting him to kind of pick up the slack. They feel like he fits the role that Chaos was lacking when they placed second. So with this roster, they're hoping first or nothing.
Mucho bonita squad. Okay, very beautiful across the board. Okay, good looking guys right here. All right, they're very scary. All right, I don't never want to load up into the lobby against them ever in my life, ever. Now, you see Dezonide collecting skulls on his shirt right there, but as we talk about Rebel here, you got Identivez, Crack, Kardia, and Xploidz, 4 of the finest players out here in Latin America. And what would you say is the difference between this team's playstyle versus the Pittsburgh Knights?
These guys are more streaky. They're more emotionally based. When they're hot, they look like a team that contend with a championship. When they're not, they look like colder than Antarctica. They look like they're individuals running around the map. And that's something I noticed very, very early on. Crack finds himself out of position. And honestly, it's not something that you would kind of chalk up to not caring. I think they just feel so much pressure as individuals. They're always trying to make a play when they don't have to.
Yeah, I feel that, but, when it comes down to like those type of pressure situations, when it comes down to being streaky, knowing how to be hot, knowing when to be cool, you need a good IGL on your team, okay? You need a focal point. You need somebody on your roster to calm you guys down, stay tranquilo, and get you on the same page. Well, in our head-to-head matchup, we got two players who embody that for both of these squads. You got Dezonide and Identivez. Now, when it comes down towards the stats, the KDA, Dezonide, top 4 in our league with a 2.46, trumping Identivez by 21 placements right there. But Jacob, when it comes down to these two kings of LATAM, how do these stats favor up for you?
To me, it's just the stats on the side of Dezonide just shows how great they are playing, both as an individual and as a team. On the stats of Identivez just goes to show what we've been talking about. Out goes one player, in goes the next. You have your leader kind of feeling a lot of those changes because he's not only trying to focus on his own gameplay through the 3 different game modes, trying to put himself in the right spot, he's trying to control and play for 3 other people at the same time. And that's just one hard task. And for Rebel, they need to find it quick to alleviate that pressure of El Capitan himself.
Yeah, they got to, okay? And, with Kardia being added to the roster, him, Crack, and Xploidz, we'll see how they're going to be there to assist. But Rebel, they got the pieces to the puzzle, but, we'll see how they look today. Now, when it comes down to the pieces of our map cycle, well, we know a few maps that's not going to be in there. It's going to be the Pittsburgh Knights banning out reactor control first, Rebel banning out district control. We move on towards executions. Rebel says bye-bye checkout. Pittsburgh Knights say bye-bye canals. We're not dealing with those snipers today. And then Rebel says no to training grounds. All right, so Jacob, I'm looking at this. We may get a harbor. We may get Clocktower. We may get Tomb.
Spire, maybe. I'm thinking
Regency and Spire.
Regency or Spire. I'm thinking Spire for sure. I don't know about Regency when it comes to execution.
Ritual. We keep sleeping on Ritual. Clocktower.
That's so surprising.
Harbor. Regency. Okay. And Ephyra. All right, no Tomb, but Ephyra is in the mix. So some Ephyra and some Ritual control. Now, as I'm looking at this cycle, I like PK a lot on this Ritual control, but I've seen Rebel been dominant there before. I think map number 2 is a must win for Rebel. I think they have to come away with that execution, win or lose map number 1. And then when you move on here towards the rest of the series, I like the rest of the maps for Rebel, right? But I think they at least need to get one on the board early.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Rebel needs to show life early on in the series. Even if they lose Ritual, you need to have some moments that you can really hang on for the rest of the series. Clocktower, there's a lot of flexibility, whether you're going for Sniper, Elims, or trying to go down low. Rebel picks it, which means they have some sort of trick underneath their sleeve for this one. Harbor, that's PK's bread and butter. Regency, that's a map that Rebel did pick early on. And Ephyra, if it goes it, that's where I'll be really scared most of all out of all the maps for Rebel if it does go to that game 5. So yeah, I'm really looking at Rebel if they're going to win this series, and that's a big if to do it in less than 5 games.
Yeah, I agree with that. Game 5, you know, no matter what the execution map is, I think Rebel's a good execution team, and having that game 5 pressure may rise them up to the occasion and be able to trump over PK if they make it there. Now, I think the other execution is a must win, that map number 2. Because Regency, Harbor, and Ritual, both of those control maps and then an Escalation, you got PK's name written all over it for me, all right? That's Rebel's toughest task in this one. So we'll see how Ritual is going to end up breaking down for him. And before we start going too in-depth with map number 1, me and Jacob can let you guys know our predictions for this series. And I went first, you went last, and I'm gonna go last.
I can feel it. I can feel it because right now I said one thing, and I'm gonna sound kind of like I'm backtracking, but I'm not. You know, I said Rebel, if they are going to win this map or this match, it's not going 5 maps. I don't have them winning that execution at the end, especially if PK can catch fire. But I just find it hard for them to win maps 1 and maps 3. There's going to be so much pressure on map number 2. And with their history, I think this is going to be a 3-0 easy, quick series. PK is going to send us to bed early.
All right. Jacob's going with the Knights. And I echo your sentiments, so especially when it comes down to the map breakdown. Rebel has to get one of these early maps, and it's a lot of pressure on map number 2. Do they feel that same pressure off the bat? Well, I guess we'll know when they load into it, all right? They know they can't go into map number 3 down 2-0 in the escalation against this PK team. So I think the Knights are super strong. But also, we watched them last week with Gary, all right? Almost take down the Pioneers. Fearzly wasn't even here, and they look good. Okay, I think they went to the game 5 against them, and they got Fearzly today. The Demon's back, man. I got to go with the Knights today, all right? I think they look too good when they're not a full team, and I'm just too scared of them when they are a full team. So me and Jacob, we're aligned in yellow, but chat, what are you going to do? Okay, don't let me do it to you again. Who are you going to pick? Is it Rebel? Is it the Knights? All right, black and yellow across the board. That's what I'm talking about, all right? Wiz Khalifa will be proud of all of us today. Now,
same thing. Shout out Wiz Khalifa one time.
He'll be proud of us all today, all right? We'll make sure we give him a special tribute later on tonight. But this just in.
Bro, we just got hit with a curveball, Blaze.
Oh, we did just get hit with a curveball. I don't know if it changes up my prediction. Hold up. I'm getting the intel chat. Strap yourself in. Because Gary's in the lobby again. Okay, Gary's back. He's here. He says, you know what? We got 2 splits left. Share some of the love of the Pro League. You know, I'm coming back in town. So regardless, you know, and I don't think this changes up our predictions either. You know, we're going to all win or lose together. Does it?
No, it does not.
It could be an easy one for you, Jacob. You know, you want to switch on over towards Rebel, but yeah, I'm still scared of the core 3 of PK.
I'm like, I love Colin, but I don't want to be that far down the leaderboard. He ain't even picking. Okay,
Colin is just, you know, he is with the wins, all right? He was like, yo, wherever these last 2 splits take me, I'm here for the ride, okay? Okay, all the good moments. Here for a good time, not a long time, all right? Then we go into hibernation, and then, you know, hopefully we have a comeback tour, you know? We fingers crossed on that one, knock on wood.
You know we will, play.
Okay.
We always do.
Yeah, no.
Gears of War 1, Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3, Gears UE, where everybody's playing now, Gears 4, Gears... Man, we ain't never going out.
No, you know, we
take a break.
You know, we're an animal you can't get rid of. All right. And okay, this just in. All right. You know, so we do have Gary's playing, but he is going to be playing not in favor of Fearzly, but in favor of Monkyz today. All right. So no Monkyz and Fearzly in the building. It seems like PK, man, ever since the league started, they've been, you know, all on their vacations a little bit. You know, Dezo, you know, been living his best life on vacation. You know, Fearzly wasn't here last week. You know, Monkyz is out doing his thing, you know, hopefully with the fam, having some good times, and Gary and getting these reps, okay? So Gary in favor of Monkyz, but I will say this, Fearzly and Monkyz traditionally before they were even teammates kind of play similar positions. So, you know, I think maybe Fearzly would fill in those gaps, or maybe they'll just tell Gary to fill Monkyz shoes, and we'll see if he got those King Kong feet. All right.
If our observer in the back, I want to start off with Gary. That man has been a sub time and time again for numerous players, not even the same guy. So that man must have so much flexibility. I might as well call him a gymnast because he's jumping through hoops to make sure PK doesn't skip a beat no matter if they're losing a player or not on their team.
Yeah, he really has been doing a good job at that, you know, making sure he keeps up with the beat. PK, if you see them these last few weeks, you wouldn't be able to tell that they haven't been a full roster. And Gary looking to do that once again. Here we go. It's going to be a quick pickup from Dezo, and quick kills coming out here from PK. So they'll have the power weapon, and they got the cleaning out the hill as well.
I felt like that was too easy, Blaze. You need to ask Rebel, are they ready?
Did they start?
I don't know. Ask them, please. Ask the Rebel if they're ready, because that was just too quick, and you saw it. Shout out to Observer.
I haven't seen a quick pick
Gary. That was the 1v1 in the middle. Gary spotted nobody there, made the quick rotation, and immediately interrupted the fight. Kardia was just slow to rotate, and you can already see the team not off to the start they hoped they were having, especially losing Crack. Kardia down again. They're just continuously getting staggered out. The only moment they had all 4 players live was when they were rolling at a spawn.
Only moment. And so Identivez will rotate towards the cog spawn so he can get the spawns for his team for next. And currently a 3-man unit. They got a 1v1 at the old hill. Soon to turn into a 2v1, as it's still a good amount of time. And PK, they don't have to rush it. Xploidz is just out of position at this point, and now the Knights know that, all right, now we can move on over.
You spread. What are you doing?
They're gonna, oh, that's a big kill. And by cutting down, they did force a long spawn from Xploidz by taking a route that they did take. But when it was all said and done, it was still big kills coming out of here from Rebel.
Yeah, and because they didn't stretch down towards the bottom, that instant kill that they got on a Fearzly is right back on into the fight, and immediately getting number 2 on Identivez. The tables have turned, and already Pittsburgh Knights again building up the scoreline. You can see in your mini-map, though, the Rebel squad is going to attack the spawn point first. That way, if they lose anybody on the actual hill, they'll be back up in seconds.
Fearzly gonna move in, get a decent shot onto Crack. Now Gary, he's gonna back it down a bit. They're gonna try to hold the spawn, so they're good where they are, but they actually want a little bit more. They're gonna force back Kardia. Decent shot. Another decent shot. They finally get the kill. Clean up. Now pressure onto the hill. 2 members of Rebel have pressed through, and that's 2 downs coming through for the Knights. The bow's in the hand of Crack. He'll reposition. He'll get 1. Can't get another, has to backpack that bow, and it is going to be the Knights trying to get set up for next. They will get new nades though, Jacob. It's Rebel and the spawns, but Rebel haven't been able to be a full 4-man unit this whole map. If they lose another 1v1, I'm kind of scared for them that they're going to lose this hill completely.
Yeah. It's just, I need to see something. I need to continuously see something out of Rebel, and there goes what I wanted to see, at least a glimmer of it. 2 quick downs, great team fire to kind of stop them, as everybody is just deep into the spawn, fighting over the spawn point.
Nice.
Kardia slaps down Gary, goes for it up A. Fearzly gets dropped as well, but Rebel's losing players left and right. It's up to Identivez, the king himself, to revive a couple players and bring him back into the next fight, where Dezonide is trying to hold on. Teammates are well on their way, trying to hold on to this backline. This fight is so important. Gary goes in, he gets 2. Only a down on the side of Rebel before they're back on up as 4 on the side of Knights.
You know, I will say that Gary is increasing his stock by a lot, all right? You know, over these last 2 weeks and some of the big matchups that he's played in the Pro League, he's shown everybody that if you got to put a good team around me, I will make the plays. You know, I will play in any lobby. Just give me a squad that I mesh with, and with 3 of the best players in the game, you're kind of seeing him play to his full potential here. once again. So Fearzly, he gets the last kill. Well, I'll take that back. Identivez is in front of him. 2 more players as well. If you back up, yeah, they're gonna disengage completely off of this. Start thinking about that next hill. New bow will come up. Rebel should be able to get this one with ease. Oh, no one's there for the pickup. They go for crack. There's 2. Kardia couldn't get there in time, and that's 3 dead on the side of Rebel. Xploidz is the 4th. And that power weapon, I'm not sure if it got backpacked. It didn't.
I feel like that's the story of the game, and it's not even over with just yet. Everything going wrong at every turn. Gary from downtown lands a perfect shot on the crack. Almost goes for number 2, and he gets it on Identivez. These players are getting shut down left and right by Gary. The sub of the squad almost gets another one on the tail end, but the damage has been done. The impact has been made, and Rebel are definitely hurting.
Now, Xploidz, he has his teammates with him. They're locked into the hill. Some much needed points here from Rebel. Gary in a 1v1 versus Identivez, but he shuts him down real quick, trying to put that flame out before it grows anymore. Now, Raver trying to build off his teammates' momentum. He's trying to get a flash off, focus some of that attention onto himself as he's able to get a big down on Xploidz. No kills cleaned up just yet. A lot of downs, and there's the pinch from PK. 1v2, Xploidz. He gets help from Crack. He needs a revive, but he was on his last down, and there's a flank from Gary. PK shall be able to hold this hill. New bow in 38, new nades in 70.
Trying to see how much time left on the hill. You said 70 seconds on. New nades. Not going to come up here. It's going to come up after the next rotation. And Rebel are basically conceding the possibility of those frags unless the Pittsburgh Knights make quick moves, find the elims, and kind of toss them upside down. You see they're leaving 18 seconds left on that clock. That's time that they're working with to make this rotation before the hill rotates on over. They wanted to stop Rebel from getting as many points as possible. We want the biggest deficit in Gears esports history.
So far, Rebel hasn't been able to get anything going. There's a quick pickup on a bolt from Gary. He's going for the save. Can't get it. Gave it everything he had. He gets the kill. There's the power weapon on the ground. A quick pick. The escape from Dezonide. Now here comes aggression. Plays up into the corner. Active in the chamber. Goes wide. No splash damage, not what he needed. That's what he wanted. The headshot from Dezo. Oh, a flank. The bow comes out. No extra splash damage. 2v2. Revive. And that's a team fight won by Rebel. A much needed one at that. 53 points left on the hill. And they get 2 bows to their name.
At 53 seconds left, they spot Dezonide towards the backside. Multiple players are getting the short spawn too. Blessing in disguise for the Pittsburgh Knights as they're going to have a great chance to kind of contest this hill. But Raver, he's not going to contest it with the rest of his team. They spot an advantage. They can go ahead and try to keep underneath their belt. This Crack getting aggressive by himself. He gets number 2, looking for number 3, bouncing around, staying alive. With the help of Xploidz, they're going to get it, get the rest of this time, and break out for next.
40 seconds to the new bow comes up. And Rebel, as they're spread out, they're close to the next hill. It's going to be in the bottom left of the mini-map. 4 and 3 are going to have to make a dash for it. Rebel has the nades. Okay. So we got a little lag out here on the PK side of things. Little game pause action. You bet 1,000 on like Rebel, and then you bet like 3,000 on PK. You know, something like that. But, you know, we can't bet twice. You can't put out multiple bets, all right? So you can't make your money back if you lose. Regardless, Rebel, they made it back into Dezonide, made it back into the lobby to fight against Rebel. And so now off this initial, you see the scores in the top left. PK needs 101 to win, and Rebel needs 231. Identivez gets the first kill there on Raver. He goes down. A misroll from Crack allows Dezonide to get 2, and it leaves Kardia out on the island by his lonesome. As Xploidz is taken out, he'll try to reposition, but Kardia getting chased down. Not much you can do there, Jacob. Bow's going to be in the hands of Dezonide.
Yeah. Even though this is still going the way of the Pittsburgh Knights, there was a little bit of a better fight. Put up by Rebel. This is exactly what I'm talking. What is Crack doing? He spawned up. He went in. Where's the rest of the roster? He's going to get dropped. Gary with the cross. Back and forth this one goes. Dezonide's only down. Revive back into this one. So the man advantage is on favor of the Knights. But a missed torque bow over the top is going to cost Gary his life. That was Xploidz who's going to be able to make that play. But at the end of the day, Blaze, it's the Pittsburgh Knights, after a second initial on this home, are going to be victorious and get the lion's share of the time.
Yo, Raver, a big kill and another bigger spread from him. His teammate, Crack, actually hit a great back A, but he goes down. PK, they're set up for next. Dezonide rotated the few bows that he had back towards his teammates in the spawn, and if you look at the mini-map, it's looking like a perfect setup for the Knights. Now, Rebel splitting up into the 2-2. Trying to thin out PK, but that's a quick active from Dezo. Point blank to Identivez's chest, and that allows him and his teammate to push out. Not a bad time to push out and stagger these deaths, because this is what we're talking about, Jacob. Now you can kind of go from this point and say, when will Rebel become a full team of 4, right? The fight as a unit. As soon as Kardia gets taken out here, it's at another disadvantage, but Kardia's doing a good job playing his life. He turned this fight around. Now Fearzly, he cut back to his teammates to help them secure the hill, and Dezonide did win his battle against Kardia. New bow up in 19, new nades up in 15. Nades should go in favor of Rebel.
Just trying to watch what they do when they spawn, and my eyes are just glued to the mini-map, trying to see what Rebel is able to do. Are they looking for the players? Are they spotting them out? Because we know information that you pass over to your teammates is just as valuable as the damage a Lancer would deal.
It truly is. You know, because at the end of the day, you and your squad always want to be on the same page so you can make the plays in the quickest amount of time before those windows are closed. Double kill from Dezo. Single from Gary. Single from Fearzly. That's a team wipe, and that's PK moving up towards the top portion of the map, so those nades didn't get utilized. The bow finally just got picked up.
Oh, time's ticking. And it's not picking a sweet sound for Rebel. Need 220 points in this match alone in order to win, because they've already got 10, but Kardia goes down. Crack soon to follow. Xploidz trying to make something happen. He only gets a trade for 1, as the Knights will cement themselves on the hill with a couple of seconds left to tick before it changes, but it means Rebel is feeling the pressure. 23 seconds are all the Knight needs.
23. Get that scoreboard ready, as those bows are coming through. A few on the ground. The splash damage is there. Another big down coming out. All kills are cleaned up on the map, and we're getting ready for another team fight. But will they make it here in time? What's that scoreboard looking like? Okay. There we go.
Fearzly starting this one off already 7-1 and 11. Trying to pad those stats just a little bit better, but Raver is going to go ahead and take away 2. Flank towards the other side. Crack is trying to get involved. Xploidz gets crocked, and you said it yourself. That is game, as Kardia is starting off the replay without a single elimination, but you cannot blame one individual at all, Blaze. They look like 4 players running around the map in a ranked match.
You can't blame one at all, okay? It's definitely a team effort at the end of the day. You know, in PK, they will strike first in map number 1, and it was honestly dominant from them. I think that if, you know, even with us on a restart, I think it still picked up where it left off. You know, none of those that restart confidence that we see some teams get, you know, coming in with a second win after, you know, the technical pause, and they got a newfound breath of life. But we didn't see that from Rebel there in that first map. But and then going over to the second map, the possibility is still there. Now, before we start breaking down the second map, Jacob, in these highlights, you know, what we're really going to see is this lead spiraling out of control, as you see 130-6 to kick this one off, right? And that was really the basis of it. This team fight was before, this was a huge fight. That changed the tempo.
Look at 160 points. Look at
this. This was the tail of the tape, right? And then those double headshots after that, it was like, it's over. You know, right here is when we had our lag out. And so, you know, we sent a few of those points on over towards Rebel there.
I will say, though, when it comes to the next map and mode, I feel like Rebel has a chance, right? Because you can have Crack really step it up, one player really control and make some impactful plays that really change the tides of each and every round, no matter how it looks. But that's been the Pittsburgh Knights bread and butter. When we're talking Pittsburgh Knights versus United, when we're talking Pittsburgh Knights versus Pioneers, what are we saying? We're saying map number 1 is going to be hard. It's map number 2 execution. They start to build their comeback. So to believe Rebel will throw a wrench into the gear is absolutely crazy, but I'm ready for that insane asylum, let me tell you.
I'm ready for it too as well, because if we know one thing about Rebel, their best game modes, execution and escalation, all right? The controls are usually 50-50, depending on what team in which they can play. But Rebel, man, hey, their story is still set, okay? Like, their key to victory, it's still there. They just have to have that quick turnaround on Clocktower, get the series all tied up 1-1, and then from there, they can deal with Raver on that harbor, okay? Raver and Dezonide on that harbor. They lock both of those 2 players down, they could try to win it on control. If not, take it round by round on the Ephyra, all right, to try to close out this series. So, Rebel, hey, the foundation is laid out, but you gotta put the work in, all right? Construct your own success right there. Now, let's start talking about Clocktower. What did he need to do to construct that victory?
Honestly, on Clocktower, they really need to be on the same page now more than ever. It's going to be a little bit easier because it's round by round. You're going to spawn. You're going to be able to kind of talk about it through each and every round to try to fix those mistakes. But they need to be on the same page. If they're going for the sniper, whether they're going for an elimination or trying to go down low, you cannot have anybody that is just on a different page for any moment. And then you cannot have anybody be a hero against this Pittsburgh Knights squad, especially when they're already in progress of getting aggressive towards the top. If that does happen, you have to go ahead and take a page out of Dyslexic's page. But sometimes you have to leave your teammate down and just kind of let them go and try to figure it out without them, because there's so many times you see a revive cost 2 players live instead of just the 1.
Revive costing 2 lives rather than 1, okay? Hey, you better look both ways before you pop a squad, all right? Just don't get caught out, all right? Don't get caught with your pants down. Now, Clocktower, I'm ready to see some sick plays from these teams, okay? I want to see some snipes. You know me, all right? I think the chat needs it, all right? Give us all a jolt of energy. Dezonide, Xploidz, Identivez, Raver, whoever wants to do it, hey, we're looking at you guys to pick up the scope and go to town. So we'll see who'll be the superstars right there. But yeah, man, this PK team, you know, the last 2 weeks in the Pro League, we haven't seen the full roster, but, you know, we got Fearzly back. Monkyz is out. What makes this team so consistent? Is it really just kind of like the core sling duo of Raver and Dezonide?
I feel like yes, first of all, yes, it's the core of the roster. But to me, it's not necessarily the core of the roster, but you kind of think of it as football. You know what I mean? Bill Belichick and the Patriots have been winning for years, Blaze. And they come in, they have new players. I know Tom Brady was a consistent, but it's the blueprint that Bill Belichick set out for his football team. It's exactly. It's the Monkyz and the blueprint they set out for the roster. So no matter who comes in, no matter who comes out, there's like a sort of, what is the word I'm looking for? Not in my head right now. Orientation, I should say. It's like an orientation when you join the squad. This is how we want to play. This is our timings. This is what we want to do. And you're either going to get with the program or join another one. Or
you're going to be up out to the next one, all right? And so, you know, well, Gary's doing a great job at fitting it into the program that Coach Belichick, a.k.a. Demise, got set in place for the squad. And, you know, you got the leadership in game there of Dezonide and Raver. And, hey, the team's looking good. So, Rebel, now is your time. Get this series all tied up. Show us what you got. We're going on over towards Execution on Clocktower, one of our favorite maps in Gears of War history. It's been created throughout so many different Gears of War games, and it's a good reason why, because it still creates the same excitement, the same experience that we had in Gears of War 1. Almost the same, but hey, feel good, okay? You know, it's like broccoli and broccolini. All right, they look a little bit different, but still hits home. You're gonna get those nutrients, all right? You're gonna get those florets, Jacob.
For once in my life, I know what you're talking about. Like, I don't like broccoli, but broccolini, James, back in the OG Gears of War days, back when that Ghost Gaming roster was around with Speedy, with Rivs, Identivez, Sleepy, Rushies.
Let me give another example,
the
okay?
Chef James will give us some broccolini, man. I don't eat vegetables, Blaze, but I eat the broccolini.
Clocktower is like lemon and lime. Woo. All right? It's like lemon and lime. Same thing, two different colors. Okay, depending on where you're from, it's always going to be the same feel. Now, flashes out. Nice connection there on those sniper trying to leave. Raver's trying to take over. He gets, a down from afar. That player is forced to go for the revive. He has to pop that squad behind the jail. And my God, this is a 2v1. Oh, Xploidz. You get the nades. You live for these moments. You live for these moments. But now he's trapped. He's trapped. You gotta toss that, and you gotta like get that nade, you gotta toss it wide, and you gotta get your butt up out that corner.
He's like, see, what had happened was I got a checking and a savings. And I got my money in my checkings right now, so I had to use the frag grenade, and it messed up my savings.
And now you don't have your life no more, okay? You don't got anything.
You're really didn't want him to go in there at all. Usually players trap themselves in there to where using the frag
but
is like the
I think he had to
out.
get the nades. I think having nades and snipe was your best chance of success, and he had the opportunity. He just didn't create the out. All right, we're seeing an immediate toss. Forces these players to have to go through the line, and that's a beautiful nade from Identivez to take down Dezonide there in the back. A good shot. They'll be able to take the round, and the Rebel is on the board. We're all tied up 1-1, and that's the first time we've seen that nade work out today.
Yeah, it's very, very hard because with that frag grenade, you're not throwing it based off anything you see. You're not throwing it based off of really anything. You're throwing it 100% based off of trust of your teammates, call out voices that are going down. And honestly, you probably can't understand all of them. It's going that fast.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. You need to have awareness of the game, and you need to pay attention to that kill feed and pay attention to the tone of your teammates' voices to understand what's really happening when you can't see. Flashes towards Raver. He dodges, barely dodges. He did get stunned, but no aggression. He has his counter flash off the back pillar to bounce inside. He stuns two. The sniper did get backed up. PK trying to make something happen, but Xploidz with a solid shot. He gets the body shot as well. There's two. There's three. Whoop, whoop.
Waiting for it.
Quattro. Okay.
And this is where why I thought Rebel could bounce back. You know what I mean? A round-based game mode. You're starting refreshed every single time. Rebel's not getting their death staggered out, just like it would happen on Control. The timing is reset every round, and that's something that was so wrong on the other map. It being a whole different game mode just kind of boosts them just in itself.
Here we go into round number 4. We're kicking this one off with Crack, as he's going to be playing here towards the back jail. Some decent shots on the back pillar, but he has to flash out. Going to move up towards the secondary. Does he want to put that focus on Raver? But if he does, he has to follow through. Instead, the pistol is out. A counter flash at the inside of the lane. He does get a stun, but the snipe is already out. A beautiful grab and reposition there from the Knights. But are they tagging anybody?
Just trying to see the utility right now, and realistically, nothing on the side of PK, nothing on Rebel. So if they go for a sniper, it's based off of a feeling. It's based off of action, being able to shut a couple players down as Fearzly makes him think twice. Dezonide's trapped in. A couple shots from the top onto Identivez, but it's not going to be enough. He wins the 1v1 against Dezonide, which is going to put PK in panic mode.
Yeah, and what decisions are they going to make? The nades are coming up, and Identivez brought him up to his team side of the map. Oh, he got pressed off to start, but you saw Raver's thought process. He knew he had to go. Make something now. Gary's going for the play on Identivez, but Identivez is really just kind of baiting him out, tossing that nade. Fearzly does move up. Oh, no. That's going to be it for Gary. 3-1 for Rebel, and they are winning the map in which they need to, Jacob, okay? So far, so good from them. They got to keep up at this pace, and Crack is having a good map at 5-1.
Does this surprise you at all? Because I know I mentioned before this, it's usually in the series where PK is forced to win the execution. That's usually their bread and butter. And being down 3-1 to Rebel, that surprises me. I just don't know if it surprises you.
It doesn't surprise me because Rebel should be up in this. Rebel should be up in this. Fearzly is playing his back pillar. Oh, Gary's on a whole spot. Immediate flank here from Raver. Wrong weapon out. Has his shotty. Oh, the snipe on the back lane gets the down, and Raver's caught out as all these players are trapped in the jail. It's still a 3v3. Dezonide found a kill. Yeah, but if Raver has the right weapon out at that time, he can cause so much more damage. Instead, 3v3 with the power weapons. And here comes PK. As they're looking to move in. Forcing Rebel
every
back.
Single time he's lining up these shots and they're testing him right now. They're saying Xploidz, hit the shot. We may not give you the layup, but we're gonna give you the 3 if you can just hit the shot.
Ooh.
Hit the rim.
Nice lineup. Yeah, you gotta walk that one up.
Oh my God, I'm feeling.
No, he hits these.
What is the thought right here? What is the plan for Rebel? 2v3, but they have the weapons.
The heel's coming down low, and it's going between the cars. Rebel's exactly where they want to be. Xploidz finds himself an extra flash. But the thing is, he has to expect to get 2v1. Somebody's getting 2v1 here, right? Now, luckily enough, you got the power weapon live, and you're okay. But Rebel may want to get a little bit closer. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. You get a little bit closer together. Oh, they actually have to play up top here. Or they're going to play up top right now just to find one kill.
Xploidz has to hit those shots if Dezonide's going to give him the chance.
Yeah, they both got power weapons out right there. Like, once you start moving up with that first bow and it goes on the ground, you have to play that very aggressive into the jail to get those 2 kills, because your goal is to get yourself in a decent fight before the extra man gets there, right?
Yep.
And so you have to be thinking about, sometimes that involves you making a silly move, but it's not silly if you're going to be in a 3v2 zone. So sometimes that's a situation, that's a head down situation where you go for those crazy up A's, those wrap shots, and if you hit them, you hit them. That's a big play for the team in a moment. Identivez is trying to make a play on Raver, but Raver is focused on, and the play made by Rebel, he doesn't get the nades on his exit. That saves his teammates. That buys time up top for PK, but they lost 2 members already. Not able to capitalize. It's up to Fearzly in the 1v4.
Revive me! Yeah. Once he put himself in jail, took away his exit, that was done and over with. PK once again on the back foot. Rebel doing everything right. And I like that fight on the good side against Raver. He immediately tried to go ahead and take inside of the jail, knowing he would have the cross towards the top. That was 100% a strat that they telegraphed, and it worked to perfection.
Here we go. Round number 7. PK looking to climb their way back into this map. Not down by a lot. Raver is being aggressive in his 1v1 lane versus Identivez. The snipe is picked up. So that's the grab. Now he's looking for a tag. Oh, just splash damage on those nades. He may get caught out. He actually backs up fully. Now this is a good chance to play for the bow.
Yeah, especially without those frag grenades in play, but Raver's down low by himself. They see it. They're not going for the bow anymore. They've caught an audible. They're trying to get that first blood onto Raver, and it works. The audible is going to come in. First blood on over to Rebel. And if they win this round, they'll be up 5-2, and PK knows they're trying to catch him off guard. Fearzly bites off more than he could chew. Dezonide with the shutdown onto 1. Unable to pick up the eliminations, though. He's going to get dropped. Gary with so much pressure on. One elimination is going to be cleaned up, but that's all he's going to get. Rebel move to map point 5-2. A huge lead over PK.
Huge lead. They're streaking out now, and Raver got trapped. You know, like after he tossed those nades, I was very surprised when I started seeing Rebel kind of like back up. I was like, he got away that fast, and he just never ran away. He just hid in the corner. So
I just don't get why he locked himself in the nades, man.
Yeah, bad positioning. Like once he tossed 2 and he realized one player rolled past the nade, he went inside to not get Lancer down on escape, but it was still only been one player shooting at him, so he could have made it out. Crack putting his focus on Dezonide. Fearzly there for the revive, and they get back. But there's the pressure into the jail. Rebel, they get 1 down. There's the body shot, but they're not able to get the kill clean up. EK, they find 3. It's all up to Kardia.
This is just hard. Kardia, 4 separate 1v1s. Are you going to get 4 separate 1v1s? Doesn't matter. You can't even win that first 1v1. Fearzly's gonna chop him down step by step. But the threat of Rebel ending the map with a trick strat is around every single corner because they still lead 5-3. And that's where I'm kind of looking at this round, why it is still 5-3, to Rebel to kind of throw something tricky out. I don't think it's going to be an overhaul altogether, but I expect something to be different.
Yeah, something here to be different. Now, what could that be? They're getting a lot of plays out of Raver down low. This round, they don't see the look. Kardia makes the call out for the team. They feeling like it's a 4 up top, so they actually go for that early aggression. My God, that Lancer was popping with the shotty on the wall with the one-handed grab and smack. Woo! Identivez out here with a nuke. And it's going to be Rebel taking the map 6-3. He came in there with like the Terminator with that one-handed shot. He says, let me put this map to rest. As Rebel get this series all tied up, it's Xploidz, your MVP for Clocktower. Now, Rebel, they're not done yet. We're about to head on over towards Escalation on Harbor, where PK is going to be waiting for him on that winch. Don't go anywhere, folks. When we come back, we'll see if we can get the lead in the series. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears of War Pro League as we are heading into map number 3 between Rebel and PK, and we're all tied up 1-1 in this series, and it's been an exciting one so far. Rebel came back swinging in map number 2. Jacob, they took this map 6-3, where it was looking like it was looking really slow for them in map number 1 as they took a beating.
Yeah, it was pretty rough for PK. You know what I mean? I really thought with their history, they'd be able to kind of pick it back. But, I mean, Gary, he's been a great asset to their squad as a sub while they're kind of missing a player here and out. But I think with execution and timings being absolutely of the essence, that sub is going to hurt you more times than not. So, am I surprised? Not necessarily, but at the same time, yeah, just a little bit.
Now, when it comes down towards our respawn game modes, we'll see if they're more forgiving to the team that's missing a crucial part of their makeup in Monkyz. You know, and so it definitely could be a little bit more forgiving. We got to head on over towards Harbor Escalation. You know, Gary knows how to play Escalation really well. We know that one, but also too, when it comes down to this map, more times than not, the X factors are going to be Raver and Dezonide and how lethal they can be between the winch and the stern. They get early kills. We see those quick trip cap dominations. Yep. Now, will not having Gary lose them some speed? I think that's the big question. It kind of depends on the position in which he's playing.
Yeah, and then my other question I'm kind of asking, you know, since this is a combination of a little bit of control, a little bit of execution with the round by round kind of resetting. What does this do to Rebel? You know what I mean? Because it's still an objective game mode. They were kind of squashed by a lot on that control. But when it came to the execution, being able to have that refresh, start each round anew, I think that kind of did something to them. It was allowed to have one voice really be the focal point, because you know as well as I do, one long control could get chaotic in the comms. So I'm just really intrigued to see what version of Rebel rolls out of spawn.
Yeah, it really can get chaotic, okay? It truly can, you know? So, you know, hopefully Rebel's comms are going to be clean, clear, and concise, you know, cleaner than mine. But, you know, I think that they're definitely going to be. And so, but from there, you still got to hit those shots.
That's true.
Escalation could be very unforgiving if you do not protect those home hills and you lose too many players too quickly. So that's what Rebel has to be wary about, okay? Take a look at that kill feed, knowing when to stay alive, knowing when they have to be aggressive. Step number 1. But, you know, also PK, we got to see which positions Gary's going to be playing, because we don't know compared to last week where Monkyz was here and Fearzly isn't. So now that's swapped. So Fearzly could want to play his position, especially on Escalation, you know, because I think that while he is here, he should be in a map in the positions in which he is most comfortable in on certain maps, because he plays them a specific way.
Yeah, that's something that I feel like a lot of people just don't really kind of note on enough, is people play a certain map a certain way, a certain spot on the map a certain way, and that's where, you can kind of figure out what people's tendencies are. That's why I kind of tell people when it comes to Rise and Clocktower, if Rushies is running down low, they're throwing frags from the bottom half of the map. If you can catch on to those things, it means absolutely so much. So now going into Harbor, we know exactly where a lot of the fight's going to go down. But when I want to see who is the team that's going to drop that power weapon. I know Xploidz from Rebel loves to get in his hands. On his previous rosters, it was a strategy that they actually had set out. Now he's a part of Rebel. I want to see if he's bringing that along with him, plus the trust from the roster, because that's what it has to be. Just like Rise trusts the Vexies, the roster needs to trust Xploidz to not only put the sniper to work, but get it in his hands in the first place.
And I think that Rebel has some strategies in play to do that, right? And the one that I'm thinking about specifically is putting that sniper down towards mid-map and taking the pressure away from the winch and the stern, where PK is super successful in, and spread this map out a little bit. Give some extra weight to the other lanes. Give you some extra lanes to be able to push through that you're going to get a lot of value out of, possibly from home heal setups, right? So I do think a centerline power weapon could benefit Rebel in this situation. Also, too, as well, like, that's an unorthodox style of play, right? Well, it's the least favorable style of play on Harbor, meaning that you need a lot of practice with a team to really get the most out of it. That could be a wrench thrown into PK's game plans, forcing Gary to have to adjust to that strategy versus a weapon at stern where you can still run the same initial, right? As you typically would before. So unorthodox weapon placements in Escalation could, prove to be an advantage in a scenario like this where your opponent's playing with us up.
So usually we do see the bold talks get placed, build up the retros, build up the shocks. And then the weapon is kind of there. They just want something they can kind of hang their hat on, kind of like an escape plan of sorts. You know what I mean? So if they don't win, they have the shock to kind of buy them some time to get their teammates off of respawn. But this is where I would like to see maybe a team's confidence or maybe lack of confidence. Put that weapon down. Don't go over towards that boat, because that's where I'm a little scared for Rebel, is that stern fight that you're talking about. Raver, but he doesn't necessarily have Monkyz on his side, but Dezonide is still there. It's still a very scary and dangerous fight that PK loves to fight. Very, very like Rise in a lot of these situations. They
are. And I will say this too also, that as the weapons go down too, how you build them is important, because bolt talks are essential on this map. So that's guaranteed there in the secondary. Then from there, I think instead of building that up, especially if your opponent wins that round, if you want to put something down, you start building up talent on the secondary. You build up talent, build up that talent pistol, put that down, and then from there in the next round, you can start putting down that sniper or start building up your nades up top. But having that bolt talk down low is so key for getting those little one taps, those body shots all the way from home hill towards the winch cross map. So we will see that. Now how the weapons placements are going to go down after that, we have yet to find out, and we will see soon though. But I think it's going to be some switch up here. This is definitely a great time to experiment too, as well. Yep. So we'll see how that happens.
Yeah, and honestly, I want to see Gary, if he is playing that low 1v1 fight, because I could see them throwing him on that side of the map, keep the core alive, no matter if Monkyz plays that spot or not, and then kind of go from there. But I just want to see if Monkyz is in a position to where he's on the low side of the map by himself. He has, an opportunity, a free hill even. What does he do? Does he just cap it? Does he play with the rest of his team? Does he catch along? I feel like there's just so much for Gary to kind of pop off. And I like the way you said it during, I think, maybe between maps number 1 and maps number 2, where this match for Gary is kind of him building his stock. So even though at the end of the day, he might not get picked up on the Pittsburgh Knights, during relegation, during roster change period, that is his opportunity to prove it here that he deserves to be on one of those elite teams.
On the biggest stage, on the biggest stages, so this is a great opportunity as the community is here watching. Gary is rising up to the occasion. So something that we could definitely, you can always, expect for him to come through. Okay. Gary, he has shown that he can do that. So we'll see if he stays consistent going into this next map. Now, as we, Xploidz, he's a big factor, but Xploidz and Crack, I'm looking at them, okay, in Identivez, okay, well, all three of them, that core between the winch and the stern, they got to get jiggy with it, all right, as lack of a better term. I could use a better one, okay, they got to get loose. I could use another one, okay, They got to be free up there between the winch and the stern picking up those kills. So we'll be getting this map loaded in momentarily. We had to have a lobby swap. So I do think about right now the lobby swap should be almost done, and we'll head in there soon. But this is our last one of the night, and we hope you all at home are having a fantastic time. We're about to be going into Harbor Escalation. I am too, Jacob. It's been a nice little Wednesday.
Please. You know, I keep thinking, you know what I mean? I've had so many blessed opportunities in life. And I think of moments, you know what I mean? When I first bought Gears of War, first started competing. But when it comes to casting, Blaze, you're that man. You know what I mean? I still remember the match, Insanes versus Primus. Gears of War 3, when we had 65,000 maps in the cycle through 2 different game modes where it takes you 4 hours to do one scrim. Those are the days that I remember, Blaze. And let me just tell you, from the bottom of my heart, man, just thank you, because I wouldn't be where I am without you and a couple other people's help. And it was just important. It was integral for building my foundation.
Well, hey, it's none but love, brother. Ain't none but love. You know, we done been in the game for a long time, and you know, hard work pays off. And so I'm always happy to see my community members and everybody, their hard work, you know, come through for them in the end. And you earned everything in which you have gotten. Much love to you, chat. Show Jacob some love. And as we are soon to head into Harbor, okay, we may have gotten debated once again, but we will be in there momentarily. Both these teams want to be at 100% coming to this one, because this is an important series. 3 maps left in our broadcast. Oh, that's a beautiful overhead shot. We don't see that one too often, right? We don't usually make it to this back end of the.
Is it possible to see the fight from this high up?
I would love to watch. I would love to watch the fight from that high up, but it's possible. It just
seems like I almost want like a whole game. Give me an extra spectator in the lobby. Give me the whole game from that high up.
That'd be lit. That's not a bad camera angle.
It's like when you go on to Google Maps and you know you're doing your directions and you click satellite view. That to me is exactly what that is when Ribs and our spectators pull up the mini map. That's what that is.
That's what the mini map needs to be. That's what the mini map needs to be, right? Like that type of 3-dimensional mini map. And
Diego, that same club. You know what I'm saying?
We was in Dre's all night, boy. The Gears of War party at Dre's. Shit, we had tables all around that sucker. We was at the Dre's after party. Oh man, don't get me started, because the real party just started. All right, it's Raver versus Xploidz. No, multiple kills coming out here on the side of Rebel, being able to take down Gary and Dezonide. Fearzly in a 1v1 going up against Kardia. Kardia just trying to stay alive. He'll get some help from his teammates. They back Fearzly down, but Fearzly knows he has Kardia weak. That's all he has weak. He takes the perfect route, has to cut to the right, and he gets out. Oh, not for long.
I was about to say, might have spoke a little bit too soon, but that goes the teamwork of Rebel. On point there in that moment, and they have an early lead in the matchup, which is going to get even bigger as Kardia goes down low, capturing that hill, but great overhead look. You see 3 players of the Pittsburgh Knights trying to take position towards the high side. They're able to take down Identivez, which opens up that window of opportunity, and great shots by Dezo and Gary to find another Elim. Flanking crack, 3 players up, 3 players down, and if they get Kardia right here, right now, that could possibly be a triple cap domination.
It could be. Multiple members down on the side of Rebel, and now Kardia being the last hope. He'll be able to defend his home hill without any. Actually, he's on his opponent's home hill. A little overextended, but rightfully so, as on his home hill, his teammates are fighting to get that hill back. And this is where Kardia earns his paycheck, where he stays alive. His teammates, they're going to rotate down low right away to try to take this B hill. I like that play coming from them to put themselves in position, but as Kardia has the angles he does to be able to help them out with big shots from Xploidz. This is where Rebel needs to take over and take control.
See, they're working together. Xploidz, that wouldn't have been possible without help from Crack. Identivez making sure people are getting into the fray, but a flash, counter flash at that to kind of stop him dead in its tracks. But Gary still getting pressured from above. He knows a couple players are trapped dead to rights towards the low ground.
Flash.
It's about being able to clean them up, and the downs are there, but the cleanups are not through just yet. As Kardia almost making it around that corner to survive.
Almost. But it's PK with a hard-fought retake for that home hill. They'll push back Rebel. Luckily for Identivez, a team kill does come out, but that's one player. Will it be enough to that one player loss be enough time for his teammates to come off the respawn, and it will be. You know, imagine if that extra player is alive, Identivez gets pushed off, right? But he was able to keep the winch. So that team kill was very impactful in the grand scheme of things. Swarm team will win. A lot of focus on Raver there towards the mid-map. Gary has a tall task. He actually gets the revive. The flash will connect. Gary can't, Xploidz can't win the battle. And so with 2 heals, Pittsburgh Knights are still in a great position. With B-Hill getting decap, it changes now. That's gonna do it. Oh, this is gonna get scrappy because B-Hill's gonna get decapped again.
You need a triple neutralization though.
Oh, he don't get the
they
shot.
were leading by a second to get the win condition, but a bunch of downs going through. Rebel, right place at the right time. Kardia and Crack, the 1-2 punch combo that not only win that neutral hill, keep the points going as they start off to a 1-0 lead. But it did take 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So you got to imagine those first 2 maps mean absolutely nothing. Instead of a best of 5, this is a good old-fashioned best of 3.
A good old-fashioned best of 3. I was laughing at what the listener said in chat. Said, imagine being a pro player and calling your internet company like, hey, my internet's out. My team's waiting for me. That brought me back to some memories right there. Reminds me of the one brother that's on the meme with the blue shirt with his phone out. The one that they made a meme of right about. Yeah, right? Like, hello? Yeah, when is the internet coming back on?
He's PTO manager.
I need to talk to somebody. This is an atrocity. Better Business Bureau is going to hear about this one. Raver. It's a decent shot, but he has to back down. He has his right hand, but he needs to stay in the fight. Pistol out. Lancer out now. An even better weapon. He even gets a headshot with it. Crack takes a lot of damage, and now they put a lot of their focus here towards the center. They get another down, but now Crack's the last one left alive. How is he going to play? Oh, he actually has help. Identivez with the Botok and some help from Crack. They can't get the last shot on Gary. They get it in the nick of time, but now Crack is between 3 players. Nice kill from Identivez. Get it? I thought he just got a headshot. Okay, no cleanup.
I don't like this because they gave up that top control and Identivez lost a player in the mix. He's by himself. He has to back all the way down while the Pittsburgh Knights got that neutral hill under their control. They simultaneously take that top half of the map, which is going to make defending it that much easier. So Rebel, they have to figure out what they want to do. Find and spot all 4 players and make the push as a team, which isn't going to be easy as Crack gets down. Force revive out of Xploidz. Back and forth, the chains are going to be had as Identivez bites off more than he can chew. He gets lost in the middle, so the go-ahead man advantage to Pittsburgh.
Here they go. Now PK, as they have the capture on the B hill, they're doing a good job fighting off, and with this flank coming through from Raver and the revives, PK is in a very successful position. This is a good overextension coming out from player 4, but 7 and 8 dropping back because they know he's on this side of the map, so no one's gonna be fooled. Kardia, the best weapon he can have in the hand, but now it's another player joining the fight, and that's going to be a pinch. So C and B hill in favor of the Knights. Xploidz can get a sneaky kill here.
He's dead. Xploidz is dead. They're going to push him. He's getting crossed over the top, down before he can turn the corner. Des again being staggered out from Rebel as Pittsburgh Knights have such a big lead, overextending to try to get that 3rd hill at the very minimum decap. As Dezonide knows people are hot on his trail, turns, tries to burn. He gets taken down, but you got to imagine with that decap mixed with the 2 captures, the damage has been done. It's going to take a miracle for Rebel to win this round.
Well, we have a miracle. Yeah, right? Now, we'll see if we can have a miracle here at the harbor, but not just yet. And there's still plenty of time for that miracle to come through. But so far, it's looking standard 1-1 across the board. And it's going to be Kardia, your damage leader on the side of Rebel. Didn't get a chance to see it on the side of PK, but we know it's Raver. Now, Botox are placed. Now, this is what I was saying, where you can kind of switch up those placements a little bit, right? Like if you really want something center line, once the Botox go down, you can move some things around. But also, too, the Botox going... I guess the Botox in this position isn't the worst thing in the world, just because of the fact that you get some solid shots, but at stern, you get some at winch, and you can, shoot across and put out some damage. versus having it in a 1v1 spot. But I guess it really kind of depends on the players and the teams, because I know some 1v1 players who says, give me that Botok and I can control this map by just playing off my body shots that I get.
You can already see, though, nobody wants to grab that retro right out of the gate. It's more of a secondary weapon as Raver, with a big risk, goes for the back A. Takes a shot, but deals an even bigger one. Kardia down by himself. He's forced to retreat to buy his team some time. Tries to go for a sneaky kill, but it costs him. He peeks out too much. The damage is there. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, barring any miracles out from Xploidz, Pittsburgh Knights will win another round and go back-to-back to take their 2-1 lead.
Ooh, that was a quick round for them. Those are the ones in which they won, and we were asking ourselves, you know, by them missing out on Monkyz, will they lose out on any speed? Well, right now they're not. You know, Gary's doing a great job holding his own, and he doesn't have the worst performance on his squad, but it is a team effort at the end of the day. Now you get the Botox built up. So here we go. That was the switch up. You know, they were just waiting for their opponent to deviate from building up the nades, because you don't want to find yourself down a frag, right? So they found an opening in the placement. Nice move. So PK, they're set up for success with the retro, the Botok, and a sniper. That's a lot of damage on the map. And also, too, you don't necessarily have to force your nade in the side on the early.
Great flashes. They're trying to grab it, but with the players sitting back, it's gonna make it that much easier. Combine that with the fact that Identivez just got first blood. Rebel, they're seeing green. They're going right now, and Identivez, he's playing this one careful, realizing Raver, there's no hill here. There's no weapon here. There's nowhere for him to go as his teammates are gathering the hills. The perfect cutback as Identivez embarrasses Raver, taking it out. And it does look like it could be a triple cap domination. Gary has to go big with the pressure against him. Flash going in. That's going to get him the stun, but it's not going to get him to the hill. Rebel, off the back of Identivez, is going to make play after play to secure what could be that triple cap domination, but it's just getting reset. Pittsburgh Knights doing enough to stay in the game, but not enough to thrive. Rebel ties us up before the half.
That was huge from them. The way he dodged that shot with the backslide looks so clean right there. Can we get it back one time?
You couldn't have written a better script in a movie.
Look at it.
Oh my God.
That is so good. The backslide. Yeah, we love that. Actually, that was my favorite feature when I heard about Gears 5 getting announced, was that we can finally backslide, because this is the first game we're able to do it.
I don't think that just helped Identivez.
You couldn't backslide on Gears 4, I don't think.
A lot easier. No, it was like a diagonal backslide, which Identivez did master. So you would see him diagonally backslide. He would angle his camera a certain way. Yeah. So it just made doing things like that much easier, Blaze.
All right, here we go into round 5. A nade over the top. Actually, I almost thought he was going to drop that over the winch, but he put it to stop the cross. But that also put some aggression on him. Dezo with a creative angle. Now he has a free angle on Crack. Identivez needs his revive now, but will they get out to safety? Just barely. Kardia needs some help. He has it. Puts himself in revive range. His teammate just close enough, but now Crack's the focus. Rebel is surviving here. Just for a little. Now they lose the battle of home hills, but Identivez is alive, and he gets a body shot on Dezo. Ooh.
Good spot too.
Yeah, that was his spot, but just couldn't get it done. Great effort. PK goes up 3-2.
Trying to think right now. Last time with the sniper going down in the middle, it was kind of 3 players there from both of the teams. One towards the outside, the normal player that plays down low, then kind of a 2v2 in the middle. Identivez getting that first blood on the Dezonide towards the winch just kind of alleviated so much pressure around the map. It's going to be up to him to kind of do that again, but it's not going to be as easy. I think Dezonide is definitely going to learn his lesson. Long-time friends now turn foes.
Long-term friends now turn foes on the battlefield. But only one can win. And every time these two squads go up against each other, it's always going to be a battle to the last blow. To the last player standing. Incendiaries have been put on the map. Identivez is walking this one up, taking some shots, but he took his high. Dezo took his low. A little short nade. That should be able to get him to capture. Oh, he runs through the flames. A ballsy play. Ooh, that was good.
God.
What? Yo, 1v1 Identivez, man, is something else today.
I am the master.
Teach me.
Exactly what he's saying. My man's breaking his controller in, let me tell you what, and he's making the smart play. Instead of kind of getting antsy with the shotgun for a straight up chunk, he's just lancering, knowing that sweet DPS, as Blaze would say, is currency, and he's feeling rich.
He is feeling rich here. Now Crack is gonna back up while Xploidz is cashing out. Identivez all 7s across the board. 7 kills, 7 assists, 7 deaths. He's about to hit a jackpot here soon, Jacob, as Crack puts some damage in on Gary. Identivez is gonna get a little extra assist to help him out there. Here's the transfer. You say, go ahead, pick that up, Xploidz. 3 shots. How many headshots would you say he gets? 1 or 2?
Xploidz, he has 1. Body shot and then a miss.
I'll go his favor to say he gets 2. Now, who's going to be the next target?
That's how I'm like,
Gary?
there's the first one. In the position he's at right now, because they control 2 hills, it's about gathering information. Ooh. Knows there's 2 players there on one side of the map, trusting his teammates on the other side of the map to gather that information so nobody is able to sneak past. 45 seconds. That's the win condition. Pittsburgh Knights, not enough time to make a move.
Oh, that's the body.
The next one's the miss.
Oh, he hopped over. That was an accident there from him.
Miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
There you go. Now, Dezonide, he's making sure that he's taking as many as he can with this clip, feathering that trigger very, very well to get that down. His teammates will be able to clean up the 2v2 fight. Now, at this point, Identivez watching over the E hill. This will be his squad's base of operations, but he can't allow anyone to go wide right. But he's getting pinched from both sides. Great incendiary kill. Better straight from Xploidz, but look at the score. Hog team's in a great spot. They only need the 1 heal, Jacob. They could do a little bit more, and I wouldn't be mad at them if they pushed out.
I mean, it's going to be up to... There's only one guy that can do it. It's Raver. Right here, right now. If he doesn't get the break up towards the top side, nobody will. Flash to kind of buy some more time. Only 4 seconds. Raver gets absolutely hammered with that Lancer fire. Unable to make the move by himself. Rebel, as a surprise it may seem, has tied us up at 3 rounds apiece. The series score's already tied, so this is still anyone's ball game.
It really is. You know, 3-3 on the board. We don't know who is going to be able to get the leg up. When we watched our first control of the day, it was a dominant performance from PK. So, you know, me and Jacob, you know, watching this series, we said that, you know, even kind of before it started, that Rebel had to win the round-based game modes. That's the execution and escalations. You got 3 of those in a cycle with 2 controls. This is a must-win for Rebel in my eyes. If not, they're going to have to put a lot of pressure on themselves in map number 4. But, you know, even with that pressure, I feel like Rebels is probably a little more warmed up now than they were at the start of the series. We've had a lot of downtime. Either that or PK has cooled off. But we're all tied up 3-3. Who can take these final 2 rounds? The sniper's in the middle map. Rebel has 3 players watching it. The quick pick is there. The quick revive. The save from Crack. But it's an M-bar up top. It's a trade-off in power weapons. Xploidz with the sniper. Raver with the M-bar. Oh my God, Jacob. Nobody should be peeking.
Just kind of fill each other out. The information is going to be crucial. Dezonide gets spotted out, but I love the thought process trying to throw that grenade downtown and catch the sniper off guard. Even though it still would have been in play, that would have given him the go-ahead advantage and the chance to push up. But now that the dust has settled, it's going to be up to Rebel to figure out where and when they're going to attack. They could try to bait it out, allow Xploidz to kind of use that sniper, but it comes at a cost. Crack has to give him the shots.
He has to.
Oof, that's the cost. Cost Crack life.
Yeah, and Identivez just gets out. He almost lost his as well. But the high ground in favor of PK. I think Rebel needs to go for the low ground pushes and just have Xploidz follow Raver. Keep Raver's head down if he can. He knows that M-bar has to charge. So, like, I think Xploidz needs to be more dominant holding his sightlines, but he's also being sneaky.
Ooh, quick melee. Identivez gonna take.
Oh, he lost the meat.
But the M-bar's still in play. So even though he took down the player, he didn't take out the weapon.
Oh my God, Jacob, you know it's bad when you can't find your meat, man. You know, it's just
bad, bro. You look around.
Spinning in circles. You just couldn't find it to the last possible second, but by the end, it was too late. It was just too late. Now, Sniper's in the hands of Xploidz. Still has 4 shots to work with, but it has to be a clean push from Rebel now. I don't think they'll have the luxury of another team fight. That's the stun that they want on Gary. He gets the fresh M-bar out. He has a few more shots with it. The pistol is there and no downs come through. No one's even close enough for Identivez revive. They weren't as aggressive as him trying to find that kill, and now you see PK on the offensive taking several different 2v1s, and that's a squad wipe. They're going to map point.
Map point indeed, and honestly, that was no easy battle. M-bar versus Sniper, and you can really see from the very moment these teams came out of the gate with a strategy. They knew exactly what weapon they wanted. For PK, they wanted the M-bar. They sent multiple players towards the top. For Rebel, they wanted the Sniper. They had multiple players in towards the middle. From there, it was about picking and choosing, playing that push and pull game that PK was just a little bit better at. Lock is in. Double lock, no incense, so it's up to retros and power weapons.
Ooh.
I feel like this doesn't change up the last round or anything different too much from that last round.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. You know, the 1v1 players got something to work with, but everybody's doing 2-2s. 2 to the middle, 2 up top. I like this play. Will it work out? No stun for Raver, but he is back down. His teammate coming up the stairs, able to get some decent shots on Identivez, but a quick revive and a rebuttal from Rebel. 2v1. Rebel gets to both kills. So, the Sniper's in the hand of Xploidz. Fearzly, you know it's your old teammate, but Identivez takes down Gary. And Fearzly, not much he can do. He has to play into these players. Now his team only has 1 player alive, and that's going to be Raver going towards the home hill. Almost caught there with the M-bar.
Ooh, narrowly missing that one. His multiple precision weapons are staring down the aimer as Gary gets his head popped.
He say, stay in that hill. He said, don't get out that hill. I got your back. Ooh. Die in that hill. There you go. We're all tied up 4-4. Chat, this has been a wild one, but a lot of channel points are on the line, and we know a lot of you guys are getting tired out there, but we appreciate you for sticking it through with us to the end of this series. And we're not there yet, but we're getting closer. We're 1 round away from being 1 map away from one of these 2 teams, but we have to be excited that we did make it to a round 9 tonight between Rebel and PK.
The lock was already used last round. Which only leaves putting another weapon in the middle, upgrading the retro.
Right, it only leaves that.
The shots are going to get grabbed, I feel like, right out of the gate.
Can you have weapons on your side? You could if you wanted to.
Only the retro.
Only the retro? Okay.
And maybe the hammer burst.
Okay. Ain't half the nades. That'd be OP, right? You can start half the nades, nades every 60 seconds on your side. We live that life. We live that.
I don't want to go back, Blaze. Don't pull me back.
Raver being pulled back to his side of the map where he walked into a trap. M-bar in the hands of Identivez. Got a good body shot in. Trying not to give up the spot, but he's not finding the angle. He pulls out that shotty just to connect with some pellets, just to keep those players weak, but didn't get the shots in which he wanted. Instead, he repositions. Fearzly aggressive. Fearzly dodges. Fearzly dodges. Now it's just Identivez missing. This Xploidz getting pressed by Dezonide. Identivez back on the charge. Identivez sees 3. Fearzly, he's missing. He's hitting. Identivez is missing.
That's selfless play, though. You saw Dezonide kind of charge back up. I thought he was certainly dead to rights. Didn't understand what the play was, but it's a sacrifice to get the sniper in the hands of Gary. But it's Identivez. Was that a pistol headshot? Oh, never mind. He has the M-bar in his back. I thought somebody else had the M-bar for a moment.
Jacob, I know you want Gears of War 1 back in your life already, okay? We get it. We get it. But no pistol headshots right now. None right now.
At least on the 3rd down there.
Hey, man, pistol headshots, Clocktower secondary. If you could do that, you were like, you're one of the best players in the game. We need some smokes.
They're going to try to grab the sniper. Is it going to work? No, he didn't. Gary didn't go over. They're going for the kills. Gary pushes up along with them.
And honestly, he could have got it, but I think what they made was the right play. It's just that they didn't hit their shots.
Especially with the score not on their side. Down 80. points or so as Kardia is fighting this 1v1 against Fearzly, who's slowly but surely being backed down. The cross is in, so are the reinforcements. Well played shot coming out from Xploidz. This could be the final nail in the coffin, and Rebel have won map number 3 and take control of the series with a 2-1 lead.
Rebel, they close it out and they finally get it done, but man, was it close. And we saw so many clean plays being made by the player on your screen, rocking his Carmine skin. Identivez 2.0 KDA, 17k damage in that one to be able to lock this map in for Rebel, but their job isn't over with yet. But at least they got some pressure off their shoulders, Jacob, going into that control map.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure kind of alleviated off of their shoulders, and it seemed like almost after that reset, Pittsburgh Knights were a little bit of a different team, and not too different. They're playing with a sub, but it seems like they started from square one on the day, unable to get warmed up, unable to really get on the same page, and it really did go the distance. Rebel has to keep taking advantage of a lot of these situations, but the control one, that's the one that worries me, because I feel like that was the most lopsided matchup we've seen today.
Yeah, it was. And but from that control map, think about it like this too as well. After that map went by, PK had all the momentum, right? They had momentum there. They had momentum going into map number 2. And I honestly think they had momentum in this map. But for the first time, Rebel's on top. All right? They're not playing behind. They're not playing even, but they're on top by a map. So I'm really expecting a better performance for Rebel in this next control map. I do believe we are going over towards Regency. And so, you know, and especially with that, they should be able to do it. Ephyra is going to be the last map 5, if we do go there. And Jacob, I know you saying if we do go map 5, you were favoring more towards PK.
Yeah, I feel like 100%. I thought if Rebel was going to win it, it was going to be in 4 maps, simply because when the pressure is on, I feel like even with the sub, the core is just a little bit more complete. They know how they want to play. They know how they want to maneuver a lot of those maps, but Rebel have definitely kind of tossed a wrench into the gear, because even though I did say they would win it in 4 or in 3, if anything, I did not think Harbor was going to be a 5-4 Rebel victory.
Yeah, we didn't either. We were looking like, hey, that's going to be Raver's playground. It's going to be a different battle, but hey, it goes down to the wire. And so Rebel, they come out on top. Now we got to head on over towards Regency control. Okay. And we're going to get all our players lobbied up. Chat, thank you guys for chilling out with us. And we got more viewers in here too as well. Okay, we're still growing throughout the night, even though it's getting later. That's just a testament to the amazing community in which we have. More is coming through to kick it with us on this late night banger that we got here. The Brawl Under the Stars, PK versus Rebel. I tried to make it sound cool, right? The Brawl Under the Stars, okay? The Rumble in the Jungle, all right? Domination Under the Moonlight. That's a good one as well. Jacob, you got one for me?
Not right now.
Not right now? Shit.
I'm still
you know what? Okay. Here we go. Okay. The terrors of the night or something like that. I don't know, chat. I'm gonna keep thinking of some, okay?
But the town?
The terrors of the town, okay? Something like that. Regardless, we got 2 fearsome teams here, and we're about to go through it to a quick break. But when we come back, we got map number 4 underway. Promise. Security's map, a lot of outside action, but it was claustrophobic inside, man. Yeah, I almost won a championship off security. I like that map. Got 3rd place that tournament.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. This is a real start, I promise. Okay, official reset coming through here. Now,
30 seconds, please.
Okay, yeah, okay. Let me see. Yeah, me and Jake, we're gonna continue just in case.
We don't have to come.
You know, yeah. You say don't put the emotion into it fully.
Yeah, just not just yet. I cannot have another emotional breakdown by them backing it out. But the thing I noticed so far is PK after that reset, they're awake. They got all the weapons, all the utility. They're awake.
I don't like seeing things like this where players are melee in a corner where it's just like, are you like, you just stuck, or are you like trying to like call some attention to your area? But we're looking good so far. PK, when it comes to P1, they have majority of the hill time. Still 22 points remaining. They got the lion's share. Fearzly doesn't mind if he dies and have to come off the respawn. His teammates should have that position. Ooh-wee! Now you need to back up. You don't want to lose your spawns, and they won't. You see player 5 on the other end, and player 1 comes through. So it works out for the Knights the way that they want to, and everything that's left down low is going to be scrap time.
Yep. Really nothing for PK to fight over. Or especially because you see them in your mini map already making that long rotation towards the top half of the map, and this is where I'm a little concerned. I'm not going to say I'm giving up. I'm not going to say I'm losing faith, but for right out of the gate, Rebel to have this start just brings flashbacks of map number 1.
And Monkyz is back, so you know that's also the one thing to know.
Flashbacks.
So PK is like, all right, come on, we can't be losing our record. We can't be giving them wins here. So we need to just turn up a bit more. Oh, a nice headshot from Raver. Gonna work this right hand. You see how he takes his shot? He moves out. PK does a great job at allowing everybody to help in the fight. No one player is trying to be the hero to get the kill. You know, you put out a good shot and some damage, you allow your next teammate to come in and get that final blow. And we see them do that bait and switch a lot to protect their numbers and work smarter, not harder. New M-Bar is going to be coming up here soon. A camp towards the front. Dezonide will win that Secret Man fight. Well, it wasn't really a fight if it's a Secret Man, huh? It was just a back smack upside the head. Nate almost picked up. Oh, he goes for the play, but instead it's Kardia with a double.
Fearzly biting off more than he could chew, trying to make the rotation. Raver just trying to make sure to at least spot out frags, not let them get away, but Xploidz with the M-Bar in hands. We know how deadly he could be with these precision weapons as he's trying to be that flex player. He's not going to go down low too much. As actually, no, he switches spots with Crack overall, allowing Crack to be the flex player because of the distance on the M-Bar. They're trying to protect that spawn point towards the top side.
Yeah, and so far they're doing a good job at protecting it. He almost took his teammate's face off, but instead he's right where he wants to be. He needs to reload. Ooh, almost. He gets a clip. No actives. Shotty out. That's a solid L trigger from Fearzly. But with 2 more shots in that M-Bar, Jacob, he's doing good, just holding for now. That's the body shot that he needed. And that's the second one. Xploidz good for 2. His teammate Crack will fall here towards the high side of the map, but it's Identivez doing a great job in spawn with that Lancer. They have to push him out this power position. He dodges the nades, holds his right. That's a almost gets the shot off to get the kill.
Yeah, they can continue this type of teamwork, but Xploidz trying to be the hero. Catch a couple players off guard. He gets taken down. Rebel only have 2 members remaining. Dezonide taking the backslide out of Identivez playbook and using it against the same roster. That's going to be a full-on wipe. The Knights will get what's left over of the scrap time. 25 seconds, not too bad if you capture it all, but you got to expect them to try to rotate off early. Try to help Fearzly in this top position where the hill is going to be next.
Whereas properly posed to be next in a rotation. Coming in hot at P4. We're back up at Statue. Some good angles from Fearzly, putting out a lot of damage, shifting his cover well. A defensive flash to slow down his opponent, buys his teammates time around the flank, and that's PK helping each other, fighting together. Fearzly knew that he didn't have to be a hero there and push into the fight. He had all the help in the world. And so, Neutral Hill will officially change on over. Nades in the hands of Fearzly. He'll be bringing them back up top. Raver gets a lot of intel, but does he hear the footsteps front door? He does at the right time to almost get into cover. It's Rebel with 1 kill in his next ensuing team fight, and they will have a second. M-Bar, nades, and Fearzly and Monkyz get the job done to buy time for their teammates. 2 bad nades.
Yeah. Monkyz, though. Finally, you know, with that reset, that's why I was like, it's so important. It did look a little shaky off of the initial, but as they realized the hill was towards the top side, it wasn't shown too much as Monkyz not wasting time. You said it yourself, doesn't get the warm-up a lot of these players would love to have before a match, but this really will define him as a player. If he shows up big like he's already having, I feel like nothing could stop him.
Ooh, a missed M-Bar shot. 25 points left in the hill. Monkyz has 2 players around him, but he also has a teammate close by. They're going to just play for the gate and whatever scrap time they can get. Want to confirm this kill, because they confirm this kill, they can confirm the spawns as well. Knowing that they got that player down, that's what they're going to work towards next. I think 1 M-Bar shot for Monkyz is Revan. Not going to connect. A shock in hand. No, they can probably cut off the stairs too if they wanted to. Cut off any player's retreat. But the stairs on the right has a solid angle, but that's a solid revive coming through quickly. They're trapped. That shock was useful. It did do some zoning. Ooh. Now the pistol here coming out from Monkyz. 2 downs here for PK. Look at how strong the Wolfpack is, man.
Who's trying to be sneaky? Who is that? Identivez trying to be sneaky, not even offering a hand to help Kardia there.
He get in the spawn.
The spawn point. Yeah, the spawn point is that important right now if his team is going to die. Look at immediately right back in. Kardia dies. He's back into the fray. Xploidz goes down. Identivez trying to lead the charge to take over the actual spawn as he gets the pistol fire there. Loses a teammate in the mix. That's going to slow down Rebel and force them to wait a few seconds for everybody to spawn back up. But that same seconds is exactly what Raver needs to rotate those frags into the play.
Exactly what he needs. Remember? Now he's gonna angle this deep. I like that mark, but does he want to go for the risky toss? He says no. I can make some better plays if I just let these players funnel into the hill. Doesn't need any risky toss. Oh, that's a good cutoff. You get that nade to the left, boy. He gets it just low enough. But they're collecting time, right?
Yep. It's forcing these players into bad spots with the frags, but up A's right into Crack. He's going to take him down, and the only one really putting in work is Kardia spawns up across the map. They're going to concede what is leftover time, scrap time at that, to try to take their position elsewhere on the map. They're trying to rotate all the way around where Dezonide is currently trying to put his 10 toes down. Fearzly gets dropped. Dezonide in a big battle versus not only Identivez, but Kardia as well. With a little bit of help, he's able to take down Identivez, and you know they see the green light blaze. They're going to go and try to find this next elimination as well.
That's a good elimination as it clears out the player from the spawn. That forces Xploidz away, but he couldn't get out in time, so he's taken out. But PK, they're in a winning position to take this map on over. A lot of time in this hill. M-Bar won't be up for another 40 seconds. Rebel, they have to fight, but they're getting pinched out. The more time that they waste, the tougher this becomes as PK are constantly looking to extend their advantage, to take over objectives and to make this as difficult as possible for Rebel by picking up stray kills like that, always having the numbers in their favor. Kardia doesn't have anything that he can do. Crack's gonna get triple teamed, and Rebel not able to fight as a full 4.
14 to 87. And I feel like with a scoreline that big, it's just making Rebel play desperate, play as individuals, as Dezonide kind of letting his old former teammate know you cannot handle me in these big battles. Monkyz, he shuts down across the map, which is honestly not too much to worry about.
And one thing to note too, Jacob, as well, is that some of the fights that Rebel are taking, they're not bad fights in hindsight, right? Like, they need to get the position. They know that they got a player in front of them. But anytime PK is in a fight, they take it defensively. Like, they take shots and they back up and they call for help. You know, especially when they got the lead or they got the hill, they won't bounce into you. They won't give you a free, easy kill. You're going to have to at least have one extra teammate with you when you take care of these guys. But yeah, man, you got to finish these fights quickly against PK. If not, they'll set you up for a trap.
Almost putting themselves in a spot where you need perfection at best to go ahead and stop the PK squad from steamrolling. Crack connects with one, but you can see he's trying to reposition while his teammates are also under siege towards the neutral. Identivez, the silver lining, is going to get one, but now he's getting aggressed from multiple angles. Teammates are well on the way. It's about his survival that matters, and Kardia gets in there just in the nick of time to make sure to keep him alive. Now Dezonide once again finds himself in a tough spot. 2v1 once more to keep the players staggered out and always keep them at the minimum in a 4v3.
43 points on his hill, and Rebel needs all of this time as well as spawns for next. Well, they got the spawn. They got both for now, but can they keep them, right? They have to keep them through one more team fight to fully have that acquisition. They lose Identivez. Kardia is getting jumped by 3. He's taken out. His teammate got a Lancer in middle, and Crack's hiding in the corner. So they'll lose. They'll get half of that time that was remaining, and they will not get the spawns either as player 4 are rotating here towards the back of P2. PK set up where they want to be, and Rebel are playing down.
Enemy contact.
Grab time left as everybody's Trying to rotate. This is actually a big 1v1 between Xploidz and Monkyz, but it's not a 1v1 no more as Dezonide goes and interferes, makes an impact, tries to go for the Elim, but that's going to be a trade. Fearzly has frags, trying to rotate him over. 3v3, frags are out, Embar is in, Kardia goes down, Identivez, he has to backtrack and rethink of a strategy here because all the eliminations favor the Pittsburgh Knights.
5 shots left in this Embar. He needs to take off the. He needs to take down Raver on his window. Oh my! Now he needs to take out the player in the back. Yep, that one. Yep, that one. Oh, yep, him. I was trying to see if I had the magic.
You're just guiding him. Nope, not that one. Oh, that one's good right there. Identivez just missed yet another shot. Back to back at that. Revving up the third one. Not even getting a chance to shoot it off before he almost gets sidelined. Everybody is getting dropped left, right, and center. Identivez at least gets Dezonide. You know as well as I do. For them, he at least won something.
Yeah.
Enemy marked.
A little pride battle. That was it. A little bit of time left on this hill before we're getting geared up for that map 5. Can Rebel get it done? The downs are there. The revives are coming through. Monkyz is holding his ground. He'll get a kill. Raver gets the cleanup. 5 more points needed for the Knights, and with their full roster back in place, they will be able to take the 4th map and get this series all tied up 2-2. Rebel is getting harder for them now. I know they risked. I know they wish that they would have closed this one out beforehand, but they still have an opportunity. They got to get it done in 5. Can they do it? Chat, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we got the epic conclusion of the Gears of War Pro League. Who's going to get the final victory? Find out soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears of War Pro League as we are about to enter map number 5 between PK and Rebel. And we have finally gotten here. Oh my, Jacob, we looked at the schedule. We said we may get a little bit of everything. We got a 3-0 to start the day. We got a 3-1 in our second series. And now it's going to be a map 5, 3-2 for somebody in our third. So a little bit of everything as tonight has been escalating in action.
You know, I knew this was going to happen exactly how it was going to happen, Blaze. That's why I made the comment that Rebel is not going to win in 5. I knew Monkyz was going to come back in map 4. He was going to get warmed up, and he was going to take charge in map number 5.
Okay.
Monkyz in round number 1. He's not going to get first blood, but he's going to get at least 2 kills.
Yeah, and he did that. I think he did definitely enough for his team. Just having his presence on the map brings his squad a lot of comfortability, okay? It makes them feel whole. It makes them feel as a unit, and it puts them at full force. And it's the first time we've seen PK as a whole in a very long time. I don't think we've seen them. They haven't played in a lot of E-days, and you know, up until that last map, we haven't saw the full roster. I think on broadcast, maybe outside of the first week because they went up against E United, and I believe gave them one of their early losses. So, but we're going to Ephyra Execution. And we know now, well, at least Jacob knows that the brawl is going to be happening in the Estamont Hotel. All right. That's where that 2v2 battle is going to be going down. And Raver is looking at in this night, and we'll see if he can do that because he's going to be one of the main playmakers there towards the middle. Yeah. And he's going to have to go up against Xploidz. So we'll see how well it goes.
Yeah, to me, because of the middle fight on Ephyra, I'm going to need to see something big out of Rebel. When it comes to what we've seen today, I will say I'm surprised today. I think they're playing a lot better than I thought they would in this series, but they still have those moments where they look like they're on different pages. They look like they get separated, and it's kind of hard to find their way back. But that was in the control games, Blaze. This is Execution, so anything can possibly happen, and they already got one under their belt over PK already with that Clocktower Execution, so it's still anyone's game.
Still anyone's game, and I truly do believe that with Jacob, that this can go either way. We're going to have to tell by these earlier 2 rounds, okay? Both teams have done a lot to make it here. Neither want to get off with a loss. After all the disconnects and the server swaps and the resets and the team swaps, you can't do all that for the L. All right, so this last map is going to be the bloodiest one we saw all day. Who has to step it up on the side of Rebel?
On the side of Rebel Crack, I will say Crack has to step it up because it's usually him, especially in those control games. They just find themselves a little too far away from the team, out of position. It makes me kind of scratch my head wondering why. I usually chalk it up to I'm a caster. He's a pro player. He knows better, but you need to play better overall in order to beat this Night squad, especially now that Monkyz is back.
Yeah, you do. You truly do. And so I like to call out on Crack, though, because I feel like from last split to this split, Crack hasn't been making as much noise as he used to. Okay. Because I felt like he was at a certain point one of the main slayers from his team. He had one of the best stats out there. And he reminded me of a Fearzly and a Monkyz style of player. But for Rebel, okay, able to do it all, put himself in positions. He don't have to be the superstar, but you can count on him to get his kill, right? And then put damage on for the second one at minimum. At minimum, you at this level, you want to get a kill and put damage on another kill. Get a kill, put damage on another. That's your role. You got to do that the best way in which you can. So Crack was really good at being an anchor for this Rebel team, but we'll see if his performance can be that anchor in this map number 5, because I agree with you. I think it has to be. And then on the other side, I'm going to put it on Raver and Dezonide and the slaying duo there. The first bloods in which they get equate to so much here. Equates to so much to how PK plays on these executions. So if they can put out that damage, then you will have Fearzly and Monkyz be able to get those downs and make sure that they can button up the round and clean it up.
Yeah, it's gonna be a difficult one either way for Knights and Rebel, because even though Monkyz just showed up, he's shown out after one map. It's only been one map. That's not enough of a sample size to see how he's performing on the day.
We're in the last map of the day, and kills are happening. Kardia is going to be first blooded there by Fearzly. And now Xploidz at the front door. He's going to have to reposition. He's taking some Lancer fire from the back, but the bow in the hands of Identivez to take over. Uno. Now looking for the next one. Going towards Imbar. Monkyz will be able to get it. That's a big kill coming out from Crack. Identivez did get taken out by the drop shot. So we talked about Crack having to go big.
This is where you see Knights on the other side of the map. They have drop shot, both of their utilities, shotguns, pistols. Now picking up the shot grenade. And if Dezo wants, he's just going to pick up that extra bit of utility on the ground. The choice is definitely his. And by Dezo, I mean Monkyz. As you see, everybody kind of trying to jockey for position. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how far around in circles these two teams kind of go. It's Crack that has to go ahead and inch himself closer to PK.
Yeah, he does, and it's going to be hard for him to have to do this one. And I'm looking at his position on the map. He's going to have to probably come in from the inside of the hotel. 30 on the clock. He don't see no movement. He doesn't know his opponents are stationary down here. Everybody heard that nade, though. Still one drop. Crack has a shock. Monkyz knows exactly where he's probably going to be coming from.
What are you doing in this situation, Blaze, if you're alive? 10 seconds
Which
left
team?
for overtime. Crack.
Oh, I'm baiting out the drop. I'm throwing a wild shot grenade to force a 1v1, and I'm gonna do my best.
That's an unfair question because it's so hard to win that. No matter who you are, you can be powers. It's still gonna be hard.
I have a gripe though about it because there's always like I've played Gears of War for years and I always watched it, believing that there's always a perfect play. And in scrims and practice and games, you always play to that. Sometimes the perfect play is wild, but seeing you go for the play in a moment, maybe trying to get a kill while damage is out, take a 1v1 aggressively when you recognize it. It's never a safe play. Perfect plays aren't always safe. I'll say that. Now, Dezonide trying to flank up the stairs. That flash isn't going to bounce the way he needs it to. But a blunder by Xploidz. Dezo with another down, another kill. And a shot on Identivez. Identivez was able to still find one in the chaos. He's looking for a second. He won't be able to get it. And it's all up to Kardia in a 1v2.
Yes. Back-to-back round losses like that. It's going to be hard. It starts in the middle of the fight, but overall, I want to see Rebel just switch up their strategy, right? And the reason why I want them to switch up their strategy and do sort of a bull rush outside for drop shot, because it kind of resets the mental game, not only for themselves, but for PK, because the following round after, victorious or not, they're going to be watching out for another trick shot, so they're not going to be as fast, as aggressive as they normally would.
No, they're not gonna be. Well, but you got to shake them up, right? Like you said, just shake them up, make them think harder about the next round, try to stop the flow. Some early shots coming out here from Crack in the middle. Power weapons traded off between both teams. Cork bow in the hand of PK. And this Dezonide got 2 players in front of him. Oh, he misses that. He misses the second active 2 as well. The drop shot from Xploidz gets the kill on Dezo. Well, sorry, doesn't get the kill on Dezo. He was trying to, I think, shoot for Raver there in that corner. He's going to play his life. Crack was able to get the power weapon. 2 headshots coming through. One on the down body. And it's up to Raver. You still got 1 drop to be utilized. Here you go.
Oh my God.
Rebel on the board, and it's a much needed round for him.
Like I said, you got to figure out a way to stop the momentum. It doesn't mean by any means that Rebel has shifted the momentum on over to their side. It just means now PK has to at least have it in the back of your head that trick strats are a possibility. Going left instead of right, pistoling instead of pushing is definitely going to be there in the back of their minds. That's why this round is also important for Rebel to come out hot. You can go back to your 1-2-1, but your focus needs to be on getting that elimination early. As you can see, mirrored strategy right down the middle.
The first move is being made by Crack and Raver. Crack is going to back up a bit. Kardia could get an angle, but he becomes the center of attention here for PK. Having a fight at the low ground. Now getting chased. A quick turnaround from Fearzly. Leaves this fight versus Xploidz, and now Xploidz has to deal with a 2v1 as Crack tried to help. He's taken out. Xploidz is gone. Identivez 1v1 versus Dezonide, and Dezo backing up. He's like, Identivez like, all right, bro. I don't got time. He said, I don't got time. He already knew how I was gonna go. He said, come just beat me up. He said, just come get me, bro.
Come over here, bro. Just
come beat me up, dog.
On in the next round. But already, I feel like Rebel, when they're in situations just like that, with Kardia getting aggressed on, he doesn't have so big picture in his mind, Blaze. He's just thinking of staying alive in this one fight, in this one moment. And that's the biggest difference, because PK, while that small thinking is happening on Rebel, they're thinking from left to right, west side to east side, north to south, everything that goes on. As soon as he put Kardia in that position and landed 2 shots, he called for help over from that drop shot player. And already you can see that every move is being made with some sort of action and consequence in mind on the side of the Knights.
They have it all planned out. It's almost like they can see through the future. That observation hockey coming out for him. Raver moving quick. Identivez is backing up. He foresaw 2 pushing him, but can he at least take out 1? They take the fight too wide for him to be able to take down 2. But Xploidz has to drop in hand with 2 shells. Even though he's down a man, still winnable for the side of Rebel. And it is a must win.
It definitely is. A must win for a Rebel. You don't want to go down 4-1 in a first
I think this is a bow hill. We're in round 4.
I don't know where it starts. Where's Colin? Colin,
we're in 5. Yeah, we're in 5. It could be bow for sure.
Let me press my Colin. Instead of life alert, I need a Colin button to figure out where the hills are at.
You don't got them on speed dial yet, bro? It saves you a lot of time. Trust me, it's a lifesaver.
I want to, but I just don't know how that'll interact with the mic.
Sometimes I just be calling Colin and asking him like how to be a man. I'm like, yo, Colin, man, this girl giving me issues, man. What I do? You be like, Blaze, just say it with your chest, okay? He'd be like, don't worry about it. He said, you're a grown man, okay? He says, you know, you do your best and just relax and take a deep breath and, you know, let's go play some Gears. And I'm like, thanks, Colin. You know, you always got the best advice.
Colin is like the Gears of War Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Everybody loves that man.
He really
has so much advice, life advice, game advice.
I'm still trying to get my campaign to go. Like, it's going to be, I hate we didn't make it happen last year, but maybe at the end of this year we could do it. But Gears fan, we have to get Colin voted, okay, for caster of the year. We just got to do it. We got to figure out how to come together and put our forces together and make it happen. We got to get him nominated for something. Okay, well deserved. We'll figure it out, chat. Okay, just be ready to unify when it's time.
What? Please don't tell me what is going on.
What is this map and the drop shots?
The lights are on, but no one's home.
Like, all you gotta do is just wait for the hill to pop. Like you should be playing for a draw right there.
Let your teammate get in the hill, or trick it. Let them press up like they're gonna attack it, and then shoot the drop shot.
Yeah, like you down the man. You got a drop shot. Let them make the move, bro. This is execution. You don't got it.
I'm so stumped. I'm just...
Here we go. We got 4-1 on the board for the Knights. And Raver is stumped as he doesn't see anyone inside. But he will get the angles that he need. Crack is weak. Identivez runs past him for free. He says, these free shots for me. He's flanks, but he gets pinched. A solid shot coming out from Dezonide. All these players are weak on the stairs. But it's peak. Oh, double down. There's the cross from Monkyz. He gets a revive on his teammate. All up to Kardia. All up to Kardia. Oh, doable, but not anymore. I think he, okay. Almost. Great effort.
That was beautiful effort.
It was. That flash came out. Man. If he throws the flash a little bit sooner, he's there.
If he throws the flash between exactly what you said sooner, between the body and him, exactly, because that's going to stall him from rotating over to help, just like you did. It's going to
get his life back.
If he does, it's going to flash him. But exactly that, it's going to let him get his health back at the very minimum, even if he doesn't get the EM, and he's on that side of the cover. It's just brain farts right now coming out from Rebel. Raunchy, smelly brain farts.
Raunchy, smelly brain farts. Hold it from Jacob. All right. 5-1 on the board. PK 1 round away from taking this series for the night. Raver with some initial damage here on Xploidz. Crack's trying to follow up, but he's got a whole... Xploidz tried to be sneaky, but I don't think he got his health back. He's taking a lot of damage. Raver is being able to play around in his open. He's not being punished for peeking like that. Crack needs to be able to shut him down, but he swung around the corner. Oh, wow. Raver for 2. Uno, dos, tres.
Do it, Raver. Come on. Your last one. Last kill. Last kill of the game.
Quattro. PK is the best. As they're going to win this series 6-1. They come out on top. Congratulations to the Knights for taking this one 3-2 and keeping that Pro League record intact. They'll stay right behind Rise at a 6-1. And that's Monkyz, your MVP. You would have thought he was playing all day. Where you been at, bro? Okay? We could have used you 2 hours ago. But you're here now when it matters. And PK comes out with another victory.
Ain't that the truest words you've ever said? Because you gotta imagine if he's in there, what does he do to take over the game a lot sooner? This is with no warm-up. No warm-up Monkyz. MVP instantly.
Hey, man.
He took a losing team to victory.
He did, okay? He was looking like Vegeta out there, all right? Looking like the Prince of Saiyans, okay? You know, as he entered that arena. So good job to Monkyz for being able to help his team close out a much-needed series, okay? Rebel was up 2-1. All right, they missed the opportunity to end this out in a 3-0 or 3-1 fashion, and they had to go the distance with, you know, their toughest competitors from their region. So, congrats to them. But, you know, ultimately, when it comes to Ephyra, Jacob, I guess the story of the day is who can shoot the best drop shots.
I'm stopped. I didn't want to go back to that one, bro.
You didn't want to talk about it.
I don't want to, because I saw it with Reflections last week. I'm seeing it here. They're shooting these things into Narnia. They're shooting it into the wardrobe, the witch in the closet. I don't care if they're not shooting it on any map that they're playing right now, because I refuse to believe they sit here and scrim for hours on end, Blaze, and then that's the best they can come up with when it comes to the drop shot. I refuse to believe.
Well, you gotta do what we did back in the day and just go shoot 100 bots with drop shot every day until you can get the flow, until you can blind fire and do everything and feel comfortable with that weapon. In the end, the Knights, they feel comfortable when they are together, and it shows in the scoreboard right there. 379, 300 to 142, and a 6-1 was what they needed to lock this series up and put a bow on top. All right. Whew. What a day it's been, Jacob. But, you know, throughout the day, we saw a lot of great plays.
Yep.
You know, we saw some snipes. We saw some bows. You know, we saw some sick shoddy kills as well, okay? We saw a lot of great plays when it came down to movement. We saw some good team fights plays as well. But when it comes down to individual plays, it was one that stood out. Okay, And for the eSwap X play of the day, it goes to none other than Last. Boy, break it down for us, Jacob, because when we see this, you get the down, the shot, hold up, dodge, ha! Let's get out of here. Wins the round for his team and ultimately locking it in for a 3-0 victory.
Man, I just feel bad for Smokes right there, because he's the one. He got did up like a sit-up. He got packed up like a picnic. He got put down like a rabid dog with rabies. I don't even know. I'm feeling the wrath of Colin right now. Let me stop before I let loose for real.
Man, he got shut down like it was a pandemic, okay? Last move out here with your play of the day. All right? You gotta love it.
Again, though, Blaze, the thing that makes it so great, it's just simple. He just kept it simple, sweet, and just made us proud.
Yep, and that's all we cared about, okay? We saw some other plays like that, but that was a great double. It was a lot that came out of it, all right? Now, let's take a look at what came from today with our results. You got Fury 1 up against Cassidy Papel, 3-0. Rise was 3-1 up against E United, 3-0 Team Queso over Hive. And then finally, Pittsburgh Knights 3-2 over Rebel. And once that was all said and done, the standings as it's laid out, you got Rise in first place with a 74% win percentage. Also, I think they do got that head-to-head over the Knights as well. You got PK right below them. Both teams on a 2-win streak. Pioneers in third, E United in fourth, Abuelos in fifth place. And I think that's the most surprising thing that I see on a scoreboard so far.
Yeah, to me, there's a big win from Fury 1 against Casa de Papel, because you got to imagine they'd be sitting.
It would have been two
wins
two.
each. Exactly. That just kind of separates themselves that much further and really putting the pressure on Casa de Papel and Hive, because we both have that prediction going against Defiance for relegation after the major. Woo!
Nah, you don't want that. You don't want to be in that lobby, okay? You don't want to be in there. Also, too, I think the other scary thing is we may see, like, you know how it is, random teams join that tournament last day, okay? Yep. Random teams get put together, and who knows is going to take their shot at trying to make the pro league. So that's one relegation tournament you don't want to be a part of, all right? Now, let's take a look at our schedule when we come back. The next broadcast on Tuesday, April 12th. It's the Knights going up against Fury 1 to kick off our broadcast. And looking at those second set of matchups, I think we're going to be seeing Hive going up against the Pioneers. If not, maybe Cassidy Papel going up against Team Queso. Both of them are going to be interesting to watch. But at the end of the day, Abuelos versus Rise. And that's a matchup that you really can't sleep on, because Abuelos is a team that, depending on who their opponent is, you don't know what type of form they're going to show up in.
Almost seems like they play up to their opponent's levels at times. But Casa de Papel versus Team Queso, Blaze, we saw the standings. That could be something that Casa de Papel uses to inch themselves further away from that relegation threat. But that big loss to Fury 1 today, that was definitely telling. But in order to control your own destiny, I feel like they have to win out while Team Queso loses.
Yeah. They're gonna have to, but hey, folks, we'll see how the Pro League is gonna break down. This was just day number 8. Next week will be our last as we go through days 9 and 10. But it's not over for all the Gears of War action this week. Tune in to E-Days tomorrow, as it's gonna be one in which you don't want to miss. Jacob, are you gonna be casting it?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be there.
There you go. So be there with Jacob and Taylor for E-Days this week, as they're going to be having a blast. And you guys get a chance to see Defiance go up against everyone else. But as we see, that's going to be it for us today. Any last minute thoughts, Jacob, to close us out?
Yeah, it's not me, by the way. I got back-to-back days next week.
Okay.
I got back-to-back days next week, man. Today's just been long, man. I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to eat.
Yeah, right. I'm about to go turn my oven on and warm up my tips right now. You guys have all been fantastic tonight. You guys got Taylor and Colin tomorrow for E-Day, so have some fun. We'll be in the chat enjoying it with you. But for everyone who stood with us through all the troubles, we thank you a lot for staying with us to the end. The players appreciate it. We appreciate it. The best fans out in the world. We hope you all have a fantastic night. God bless.